Verse 1, then he called out in my hearing with a loud voice, saying, let those who have charge over the city draw near, each with a deadly weapon in his hand. And suddenly 6 men came from the direction of the upper gate, which faces north, each with his battle axe in his hand. One man among them was clothed with linen. I don't have time to prove this, but it's Jesus Christ, who is clothed with linen and had a writer's inkhorn at his side. In other words, something to seal with. They went in and stood beside the bronze altar. Now the glory of the God of Israel had gone up from the cherub where it had been to the threshold of the temple. And he called to the man clothed with linen who had the writer's inkhorn at his side. And the Lord said to him, go through the midst of the city. Which city? Jerusalem. Is this a sealing of God's people, or is it a sealing of the pagans? This is happening among God's people. They're worshiping the Son, but there's a group that don't, and they need to receive a seal. Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and put a mark on the foreheads of the men who sigh and cry over all the abominations that are done within it. Let me ask you, was there a group that sighed and cried about the abominations and did not participate in those abominations, who refused to worship the Son God? Absolutely. And what did they receive? The mark where? On their foreheads. Is there a mark on the forehead in Revelation? Is it just possible that it has something to do with sun worship? We'll come back to that. Verse 5. To the others he said in my hearing, go after him through the city and kill. Do not let your eyes spare, nor have any pity. Utterly slay old and young men, maidens and little children and women. But do not come near anyone on whom is the mark. Are those who have the mark protected? Yes, they are. And begin where? At my sanctuary, where the religious leaders were, incidentally. So they began with the elders, where the elders who were before the temple. And some people say, Pastor Bor, are you saying that those who received the seal when Nebuchadnezzar came and destroyed the city, they were spared? And those individuals who were committing the abominations, those were destroyed? That's exactly what I'm saying, because this is the Old Testament scenario. And so you're saying, Pastor Bor, you're saying that those who worship the Son, those were destroyed, whereas those who kept God's holy Sabbath were spared? Are you saying that Jerusalem was destroyed because they didn't keep the Sabbath? Let's let the Bible tell us. Go with me to Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 27. Jeremiah 17 and verse 27. It's very, very clear. God tells us why he destroyed the city of Jerusalem through Nebuchadnezzar. And he already told us in Ezekiel chapter 9 that those who had the seal on their foreheads would not be destroyed because they were not practicing the abominations. They were not worshiping the Son. Notice Jeremiah 17 verse 27. God says, but if you will not heed me to hallow, that is to sanctify the Sabbath day, such as not carrying a burden when entering the gates of Jerusalem on the Sabbath day. What does God say he's going to do?